Hello, viewers. A very warm welcome to Wellbeing Call. Today, I want to talk about a steroid in our body called DHEA. Ever heard of that before? Well, DHEA stands for dehydroepiandrosterone. Dehydroepiandrosterone. So, well, you know what? I'll just call it DHEA. DHEA. DHEA has been found to be the most predominant steroid circulating in the human body, in our bodies. And you would find that it's not common. People don't talk about what is DHEA. People don't talk about DHEA. You talk about thyroid hormones. You talk about stress hormones. You talk about estrogens and testosterone, those are, the more common ones. But DHEA in itself does not carry out a lot of physiological activity, but rather it is actually a precursor for hormones like the sex hormones. It's a precursor for estrogen, it's a precursor for testosterone, and probably a few other things. This is still being researched. Where does DHEA come from? How is it produced? So DHEA is produced in the adrenal gland. The adrenal gland is a little gland that is sat upon the kidneys, and that is where DHEA is produced. It's the same gland, adrenal gland, that produces the stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, noradrenaline. So that's one of the organs that produces that as well. DHEA is produced from cholesterol. So it is the precursor material for the body to produce the sex hormones. Note that the sex hormones is also produced in other parts of the body, like in the ovaries and in the testes. But DHEA produced in the adrenal gland is a precursor for testosterone and estrogens as well. Now, one very important thing to note about DHEA is that the body begins to produce it in childhood, round about the age of 10. And it peaks, the production of it peaks round about between the age of 20 and 30. And from there onwards, there is a decline. And the production of DHEA gradually begins to drop. So, as a result, typically people refer to DHEA as the anti-aging hormone or the hormone of youth. Some people call it that. So it's been linked, basically it's been linked to aging. That is to say that a lot of the things that begin to happen, as we age is linked to the fall of DHEA or the fall of the production of DHEA by our body. So what makes DHEA so important that it will be called the anti-aging hormone or the hormone of youth? Bearing in mind, like I said, that the production of DHEA begins round about the age of 10. It peaks probably until the age of 30, and then it begins to decline. So Why is it so important? Well, DHEA has been linked to physical well-being, psychological well-being, muscle strength, healthy bone density, immune regulation, and the low occurrence of inflammation. So at that peak period between childhood and young adulthood, DHEA has been linked to vitality and general well-being. And at low levels, when it begins to decline with age, low levels have been linked to depression, it's been linked to cardiovascular disease, it's been linked to diabetes, low muscle strength, and osteoporosis. There's probably a few more. There are so many studies still going on around this. There are studies still going on as well around other hormones that DHEA can have an impact on, or hormones that are actually produced from DHEA, just like the sex hormones that I talked about. So viewers, the question then is, if my DHEA reduces with age, how can I improve my well-being as I age? How can I improve my emotional, physical, mental well-being as I grow older, given that the quantity that the body produces is reduced? So here are a few key points that studies have come up with. The first key point is that you ensure that your diet includes good sources of fat and sources of omega-3. This is because, if you remember, like I said earlier, DHEA is produced from cholesterol. So, you need cholesterol for your body, for your adrenal gland to produce DHEA, and cholesterol you would get from the fat that you consume in your diet. Sources of fat, healthy fat and oil, like olive oil, coconut oil, rapeseed oil, avocado pear, flaxseed oil, pumpkin seeds, peanuts, are healthy sources that you could include in your diet on a day-to-day basis. The second point is exercise. Again, there is research that shows that when you exercise, you stimulate your adrenal glands to produce DHEA. And this has been found to be the case through studies in older adults. The link to this study I would include at the bottom of this video. The third point is de-stressing, managing your stress. There's ongoing research on this particular point, but looking at it from the point of view of the fact that your adrenal glands produce your stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, and noradrenaline, and the same adrenal glands produce DHEA. So at the moment, What is being speculated on by research is that the production of stress hormones suppresses the production of DHEA. So, but in any case, it's always good to manage your stress levels because it impacts a whole load of other things in the body. The last point on how to help to increase your DHEA level is sleep. So for your adrenal glands to function maximally, you need good sleep. And the best ways to get a good sleep is to try to ensure that you sleep at the same time every day and you rise at the same time every day. Try to have your last meal 2 to 3 hours before going to bed. And sleep in a dark room because that stimulates your pineal gland to produce melatonin, which aids good sleep. Also, as much as possible, keep your phones, your laptop, your iPads out of your bedroom because those lights interfere with sleep. So friends, you need not wonder any further why the things you were able to do 10, 20 years ago, you are not able to do anymore. You don't have the physical ability to do those same things. You don't have probably the mental ability to do those same things. That's because steroids like DHEA are on the decline. And that is a natural process. However, there are ways, the natural ways I mentioned, the 4 points I mentioned, of helping your body to still enhance the production of DHEA so that the body is not declining rapidly into frailty. It doesn't have to be that way. It is still possible to age gracefully. Thank you everyone for listening. I hope this has been useful for you. Please subscribe. Please share. Thank you and see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.